Shalom, shalom, we're back. Before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikaha Kwadash, to the hopeful elect out there, the 144,000 and the 1/3. Shalom to you all. I'm here with an article, here with a video. I'm going to call You Never Left Captivity. And the article started off by saying a white couple accused of adopting so-called black children and forcing them to work as slaves on farm in West Virginia. Janine Whitefeather and Donna Lutz face numerous criminal charges, including human trafficking, forced labor, and child neglect. Now here's a picture of the two devils here. I mean, come on. They look like they hate so-called black, Latinos, and Native Americans. You can just look at them. You can look at the look on their face. Now he looked sad that he got himself caught up in it. But the look on her face was, damn, they got me. All right. A white, so-called white, West Virginia couple is accused of adopting 5 black children, forcing them to work on their farm. The couple facing numerous criminal charges, including human trafficking, forced labor, and child neglect. And as we know, part of the curses of Deuteronomy 28. Matter of fact, let me just get it. Ain't no point in talking about it. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. Now this scripture is more tailored to when we were first brought over here on the cargo slave ship as slaves. But even now, because, well, even now, this happens to at least to some, especially in the hoods and the bad neighborhoods like that, to where somebody can call child protective services on you, and they can just literally come rip the children out of your hands some of the time, and you had to go all through kind of court system, all kind of loopholes and stuff like this to just try to get them back. But as you can see, Esau Edom could easily go adopt 5 of them, put them to work as slaves, and no telling how they even found out about them. But we're going to keep reading the article. Maybe they'll tell us. According to the 16-count indictment, Janine Whitefeather, 62, and Donald Lutz, 63, adopted the 5 children, ages 6 to 16, from a shelter for vulnerable and homeless youth, and targeted them to forced labor specifically because they were black. See? Esau Edom know who you really are. You so-called black, Latino, and Native American. And guess what? Since they know slavery really ain't over with, because that Emancipation Proclamation, if you go look up that word emancipate, they're really saying you get your ownership got changed from one hand to another. So you never really left out of slavery. The shocking allegation led to the judge in the case to say the children were being used as slaves. Yeah, basically they're saying, how you gonna use them as slaves and we can't get no money out of it? They were found at Whitefeather and Lutz home in Sessionville by Kanawha County Sheriff deputies after a 911 call led to a welfare check. 2 of the children, ages 14 and 16, were found in deplorable condition in a locked barn. The children had no means to escape the barn on their own, nor running water, nor bathroom facility, and were obviously deprived of adequate hygiene, care, and food, the sheriff department said in a written statement. And as we just read in the scripture, it said that our children are going to go into captivity. Matter of fact, let's go here. Deuteronomy 32 and 41 should be. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. And like I said, this was mostly dealing with the slavery we went into during the cargo slave ship during that slavery time. But even to today, as you can see, they was in a program for to help you, but these people, I guess they didn't run a background check on them because they feel like, hey, they're an old white couple. What wrong could they do? Well, obviously put children into forced labor camp. Because you got to understand, this world was given into the hand of Esau Edom, according to Job 9 and 24. So people like them don't get background checks done on them. Not most of the time anyway. And if somebody had to make a phone call for a welfare check, obviously the people from the home that the kids were sent from never came to check on the kids and see if they was okay. Cause I thought way the adoption thing worked, they supposed to come check on the children anyway to make sure they're okay. But like I said, this world is given into their hands, so ain't no background check gonna be done to them. So there it was, so-called black kids living in some of the worst conditions, like back in slavery time, being slaves, basically. That ultimately because we never left out of captivity. Slavery was never abolished. It was just given into the hands of the federal government instead of private. Now, what these people did was try to bring it back to the private. Got the kids, adopted them, then put them to work. But the scriptures also say, we're yet this day in our captivity. So like it, here we go, Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payment, according to all the iniquities of our father, which departed from Yahweh our power. And all this was just a physical manifestation of that. You still see we're in captivity. They tell you that you got all kind of rights and legal. You got to have, it's like you got all kind of legal rights. But if you watch TikTok, shoot, the news, any other kind of stuff, man, them police will violate them rights really whenever they feel like it. Then they'll get away with it most of the time. They'll do this fake investigation and say, oh man, our officers was in the right to do what they did. Man, they just blew the brains out of a little 2-year-old. Yeah, but they were right to do that because you have no rights in this country. When the Constitution was being wrote up, you so-called black, Latino, and Native American was in slavery. So none of them rights really are for you. And as you just seen, any other way the government could have had their hands in on them two couples and getting money off of it, they would have never stopped them. Matter of fact, let's see something. Dude. Uh, Black kids. Hold on one moment. I just want to see something. Okay, see, look. Yes, adoption agencies may check up on children after they are adopted through a combination of medical evaluation and social worker visit. So you're telling me the agency that allowed these two people to adopt those kids, never did a checkup, never sent no social worker or medical evaluation? Look, even go down. See, after a child is placed in an adoptive home, they should receive a post-adoption checkup that includes a physical exam, diagnostic test. This evaluation should consider the child's past, including their birth history, medical history, and healthcare worker should be reminded of their previous home and circumstances. So you're telling me none of this went on? None of this went on? They allowed these two, because like I said, they're Edomite, then they're older Edomite couple, so they probably figured nothing like this would even happen. But there was no checkup to check on these kids. Somebody had to literally call and say, "Hey, y'all need to go check on them kids because I think they're in servitude over there," for them to even come check. This shouldn't even went out as long. This shouldn't even went as long as it did. But like I say, Job 9:24, this day world. So nothing we can do about it, cause we were sent over here as a curse. Brute 3:8, Salaki. As a curse and a reproach. And it's only our fault that this happened, because the sin we committed against Yahweh Ba'ashem and Hawashai, that our children and our children's children must continuously suffer until it's time for Yahweh to come and rescue us. This is why we need salvation. Because ultimately, this kind of stuff will continue to happen to us. This is Isaiah 47:6. I was wroth with my people. I had polluted my inheritance. And who is his inheritance? The children of Israel, the so-called 12, the 12 tribes, the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American. I had given them into thine hand, and thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke, and they still haven't shown us no mercy. Think about this, from 16 to 8, I think it was, that these people was allowed to adopt these kids, to put them into slavery. Then somebody else had to tell them to go do a welfare check, when the company itself, the agency who allowed them to adopt them for them, did a welfare check themselves. So look at that. This is the Lord talking about how he gave us over to these base men. But ultimately, like I said, it was our own fault for sinning against the Lord, not wanting to follow his law, statutes, and commandments. So we had to be punished. And we're going to continue to be punished till Yahweh shall come back and get the elect. All right, this is Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and our calamity in the time of our calamity was slavery, which should have been over, but they did some backhand deals and it never ended. And the time of their iniquity had an end. They still doing it to this day. They kill us with the sword, which is the modern day gun. Look, they even putting us back into slavery. Now, the new slavery is the prison system that they built and the law that they made to keep us in there. But it still don't stop. Their hatred for us has been perpetual. It never stopped. I mean, who takes a little kid and make them go out there and do all this work if you don't hate them? If you're not mad with them. And they don't realize where it come from, but it's an ancient hatred that they have for us. Verse 6, therefore as I live, say Yahweh power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Seest thou not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And that's them shedding the blood of the children of Israel. And anything else they get their hand on and kill. But seeing that they don't hate the blood, the Lord is going to come back and He's going to require that same blood that they spilled from their hand. And as we're reading about the living condition that these children had to live in, you know they beaten and bammed on them kids. You know they probably told them nobody don't want you. You lucky to be here with us. All type of stuff. But that's the sickening of these people. But yet our people want to say these people when they continuously do stuff like this and show you their hatred. That's why ultimately the Lord is he can't forgive them. We're going to end out here. This is Amos 1:11. Thus said Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof. Because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. And see, he kept, even to this day, they still hate us. They still have that look of hatred, laws they done created, the prison system, the sword, everything. It's a perpetual hatred. Now, some of them grow up be your friend. A lot of them who do grow up with you, later on once they get older, guess what? That same hatred will seep into them. Only reason I say that because I done seen it. Guys I was cool with back in high school, look at them now on Facebook, all kind of cryptid I hate, nigga ways in them. Because they hate us. It's a ancient hatred that's been passed down from generation to generation. That's why I said that his anger did tear perpetually. I mean, it continued. It never stopped. And the slavery of these kids are just one of the ways. Now, y'all an old ass couple who should have been got over, but no. They make sure, hey, we're going to put some niggas in captivity. And who's to say, and they past life, they didn't do the same, because we always come back and replay the role we was put in. And that's all this was. So when it's time for them to be destroyed, we don't want to hear, we ain't do nothing. And all this going to come back up. But that's all I had to say on that. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom to the 144,000, the 1/3 of the elect. Shalom.